So hello everyone and welcome to the IAMT TV. My name is Riikka Koponen. I'm the principal analyst at our business intelligence unit at IAMT. And I'm really happy and excited and delighted to be here with Rob Adams from TSL. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you for coming over and speaking to us. Good to see you.
Fantastic. There's so much has happened for your company, so we actually want to learn what you now do. Could you please briefly introduce yourself, the company, also your main customer segments, please? Yeah.
Sure. So, I'm responsible for global sales, and TSL, for people that may not know us already, we are not a systems integrator. That's the most important thing. What we are is a technology vendor for specializing in control and monitoring applications and solutions.
Very interesting. You serve diverse range of customers in different geographies and markets. Could you please say a few words about them?
Absolutely, yeah. So we operate globally. We've got an installed user base which is global, and traditionally, I think for decades it's been much based in broadcast, and really particularly in mission critical live, particularly in sports and news and play out and that kind of thing. And reliability was always a big factor of that. But the changes that's happened probably in the last 5 or 6 years dramatically is that the mix of now talking to customers that have, we call it immersive media or pro AV applications in enterprise, where they also have mission critical requirements. And so we're selling to every company now is a media company, aren't they? Even corporates. So they're wrestling with curating and creating media, and they need the same level of reliability to their market and their audience that we can help provide.
Very interesting. And like we see a lot of customers also in this region as well. In terms of, because we're here at BroadcastAsia 2026, you have some exciting product launches recently. So could you please talk more about what you're showcasing and the launch of your latest prize?
Sure. So actually at BroadcastAsia is the inaugural launch of Hummingbird. And Hummingbird really is the brand for our control solutions. And we felt we needed to come up with a clear message and brand for it because over the years, we've acquired a number of different companies who had their own control solutions. But when we were talking to people, we would say TSL Control. And actually, we acquired DNF controls. And earlier this year, we also acquired JLCooper. And so it felt right that we branded and we called it Hummingbird. And that's the launch at the show. And this represents the collection of existing technology, but also the platform and the applications and the interfaces that we'll be developing in a unified way going forward.
Very interesting. Is it possible? I would love to see also your product view at how that works. It would be really exciting. So can you please tell now, because you have had these acquisitions recently, and how your offering is developing, please?
Yeah, for sure. So actually most common question is, what is Hummingbird, right? So suddenly it's a new word. In fact, what it is it's a collection of control applications that can do many things. But it's also a collection of interfaces. So it's control, orchestration, automation, and how then you would physically or virtually interact with those things. And this slide just demonstrates the various different things. It could be tally, it could be protocol translation, it could be automation playout. Any one of those things. We also finding that customers are asking us, they might have an existing control solution that may not be able to do some of those things very well or very efficiently or at a price point they need it to do. So often we're coming in and we're augmenting existing control solutions in a very specific way. We can also provide an overall control solution. And we're either doing it on our own, or we're doing it with a wide variety of other technology manufacturers. So I think the key word I would pick, if there was one word we should bring out in this whole interview, is interoperability. This is the thing that we really enable. The ability for our customers to have a mixed environment with other technology providers who aren't necessarily invested too much in enabling that workflow between maybe their own competitors. We're there to help help that workflow and the interoperability.
Absolutely. That's also in line with our research, especially here in this region, in Asia Pacific region, interoperability is really, really important. I want to a little bit go back to the acquisition. So why, and tell us a little bit more about your recent Q1 acquisition. It was JLCooper? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was rather somewhat sad and fortuitous for us because the founder, Jim, unfortunately died. Their offices are quite nearby us anyway, and their customers were really keen to have a continued production, operations and supply of their technology. And actually it fits us very well because increasingly they also do a lot of OEM kind of work. So that's great. And the second thing is they're at a slightly different price point for us. So that really helps complement the line as well. You know, they also do USB type plug-in of physical user interfaces, and they've got a very wide catalogue. So yeah, it just helps sort of increase the dimension of how we go to market.
Accessibility, yeah, great. Partnerships, increasingly important in our industry. I would be curious to know what those partner technology alliances that you have launched and also recently entered. Yeah. Could you please tell about those, please?
Well, first of all, we're very pleased to have an alliance with you in media technology, right? So, and obviously we have a lot of other industry standards, so we comply with the industry standards, industry bodies. But moreover, actually, for a legacy, because we had TSL 3 and TSL 5 for Tally, a lot of other vendors implemented that as the gold standard. And from that, we then exchange protocols. So actually, we work with not only the industry protocols, but other equipment manufacturers' protocols. And we enable that interoperability in that way. So we work with all of these technology partners. This is just a small selection of the people that we cooperate with. And normally, actually, our sales come through projects, and they come through tenders and working with systems integrators. So it fits really well in that the systems integrator can then go to their customer. The customer either has existing technology they need to interoperate and engage with, or they have new workflows they want to explore. And typically it would either be an SDI environment, or increasingly an IP environment, and increasingly a hybrid environment, and increasingly either on-prem or virtualized or in the cloud, and we can do all of those things dimensionally. We're helping to take people on a journey from testing new workflows, and so it doesn't just need to be an SMPTE workflow. And the other bit of the news here is that we've recently joined the NDI Alliance to get into that more enterprise level plug and play environment. It's really good for this region because the skill sets enable quick deployment, lower cost deployment for second tier or enterprise type workflows. So that's been really good. But the other key partnership we have is with Grass Valley, and we've been with them now for 3 years in their alliance partnership, and we OEM some of our technology to them, and they're great to work with. They've really they took some bold moves 3 or 4 years ago to reinvent how they saw cloud-based workflows, and so we're a key part of going on that journey with them. But also one of the key things is to enable them to their customers to deploy new technology at the same time as retaining their old or their existing technology. So that's also a very important part of the interoperability, and at the same time as taking the technology forward in a new environment.
And Hummingbird is also playing a role.
Hummingbird is the generic word that really represents all of our control solutions. Yeah.
Absolutely. Very interesting. And then one more question. We want to learn about how do you see the market? So there's a lot of changes, very rapid changes, a lot of consolidation. We see also some macroeconomic changes. So how are you seeing market to evolve, and how are you kind of addressing those changes that you see?
Yeah. There are some very specific things like the tariffs. Half of our business is in the States. We do have an incorporated company over there, but that's created a lot of uncertainty and a bit of bumpiness that we've had to deal with. Of course, geopolitically in the Middle East, that market slowed down. But bizarrely, year on year, where you have a flat market economically in Europe, we've had a tremendous growth, mainly because of a couple of projects that were delivered by RSIs, so the RSI partners. So that's been good. People are traveling less. I think the trade shows are becoming more like local trade shows again. But even at BroadcastAsia, it's been great to see so many people traveling here who we may have missed at IBC or may have missed at NAB. So from a community point of view, that's been great. Yeah, and then market segments, we already feel well established because a great amount of our solutions are to corporate customers who have mission criticality built into their corporate video and audio requirements. And it's hard because people still say, oh, the market's changing, but actually that's been happening for several years now. It's just, I think it's accelerating more. Federations are taking the productions in-house more directly for setting up and having managed services from their third parties. So, we're riding that crest because they're all needing A, mission criticality, and B, interoperability. So sits very well with where we're at.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. We also have seen our research a lot of growth for government segment, education. I saw houses of worship also. Just jumping back to what you said about trade shows and those becoming more kind of regional. It's also interesting that still those encounters that you can have in shows like NAB or BroadcastAsia is that you might also have new customer profiles coming to the booths. There might be investment banks or there might be subsea cable companies looking for monitoring solutions. It can be anything, hotel chain.
It's a challenge, but they still, the fundamentals still apply. You just got to get out there and talk to people and be in front of people and go through the dialogue about, okay, how can we help? What are your problems? It might be efficiency. There's been a lot of, we're hearing a lot of cutbacks locally, mainly based on normal traditional broadcasters' advertising revenues going down. The audiences are going to much more streaming based, thing. So, but nevertheless, the money still follows the content. It's just then you go to a business transformation as to how that works now in the more modern world. So really just taking time to explain, okay, to A, to understand, and then B, think, how can we help? Being pragmatic, but just being here, talking to people, it's same as it ever was, right?
Excellent. This was really insightful and I learned a lot about your new products and also your own transformation process. Thank you so much, Rob, for all these insights and thank you.
My pleasure. Great to meet you too. Thank you.